Hello and welcome back to That Sweet Spot. We're now Series 1 and Episode 3. Welcome also to my inspirational producer. Today we have a very special guest as well, Phil. And I'm not going to tell you who it is, but here's a clue as to who it might be.
Is it Eve?
What do you reckon?
Is it Eve?
Oh, I wish. the original. Yeah.
I wouldn't bite that thing.
Is it Eve? It looks tempting. Yeah. Right, that's the clue. And I've just knocked the microphone stand. So, that's the clue. And we're going to meet this very special guest later on in the show. So, let's get started. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 3 of That Sweet Spot. This is Black Eye. Phil, I heard from you the other day that you spend a bit of time walking around with a hand over your eye or an eye patch.
That's correct, yeah. Just hand over my eye, yeah. Or just closing my eye.
How did you find that?
Well, I'll just backtrack a little bit. It was after I met you, and you were driving, and you were mentioning, having to be careful and all that. And so I just walked around for about half a day with my eyes closed just to get a sense of it. And for me, I don't think it's quite a parallel. We talked about this. It's not really a parallel to what you have. You just have no vision there. Mm-hmm. But for me, I had vision of a closed eyelid, that 5% or whatever amount of light that comes through. Yeah. So I did still have a sense of there being something there. I did certainly notice the look of my, seeing kind of the contour of my nose as I was looking around. But having that blind spot was definitely it was a bit difficult. It's like wearing a hoodie and not having your peripheral vision, right? Yeah. But all the time, right? So and there's no escaping it. So I did it as a just to figure out what's in a small way what you were going through.
I mean I sometimes wonder if I ever will get back full vision in both eyes, because I can't actually remember what it was like, and okay. I would love to feel the astonishment of a vista. It'd be interesting. But hey, I'm a born optimist, so we'll have to see. As mentioned earlier, we have a very special guest on the show. Phil, have you worked out the significance of the apple yet?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll give you another massive clue.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Sir Isaac Newton?
I'd say that's more than a clue. Yes, I studied the history of science and technology. His name came up once or twice.
Okay, well, Sir Isaac and I, we go back a long way, and so he's, much to my pleasure, he agreed to come on the show today. So we are going to read a little story featuring him. Yes.
Must have taken some alchemy to get him here.
There we go. All right. Boom. So Black Eye 3, in which I look on the bright side of my dark side. Would it help? When the nurse came to take me down to surgery, the last thing I did was write on my hand, "Would it help?" It comes from the movie Bridge of Spies, in which Tom Hanks' lawyer is bewildered by Mark Rylance's nonchalant Russian spy. 3 times in the movie, Hanks lists the threats of imprisonment, exile, and execution facing his client. When faced with the spy's blithe indifference, Hanks says, "They could send you to the electric chair. Don't you ever worry?" And each time the spy replies, "Would it help?" This was my mantra for fighting my bitterness. The operation. I carefully choose my Lucky Luke t-shirt to wear during the procedure and look forward to some wonderful dopiness as the anesthesia kicks in. But all that happens is I count down from 10 to 5 and wake up from a dreamless pit with half my vision gone. I burned the t-shirt. The follow-up consultation. I receive a text from my friend, the electrician. "Oh, mate, look, it's not going to be an easy time, but have hope, dude. You're still a good-looking fella. Just not my type." Winky face. The surgeon is hopeful there'd be an improvement on last week, but there isn't one. So he doesn't look or sound happy about that. If anything, he just looks disappointed. In me? Am I letting you down here? Is it my fault? The surgeon is so honest, it's difficult to blame him for anything. He gives no blithe promises of recovery. I chip away at the problem, looking for some kind of positive. People worse than me have recovered, haven't they? Surely there's someone else? But there are no comforting words, just brutal honesty. He shows a mild interest in the shapes and lights behind the retina. Otherwise, my only hope is his repetition of the phrase, possible reversible process. At least he confirms there is activity in the eye, and I can feel it when he touches the surface with a tissue. The fact that I see a silver light at night is good. He says that recovery could take months or even years, but there is no guarantee. There will be no miracle, no morning eye epiphany. I have a much higher chance of recovering motility of the eyeball. Nerves retract under stress, but they inch back later on. So, I'm unlikely to lose the eye. And at least it would eventually look normal and move in tandem with the left eye. When we discovered what had happened during the procedure, the surgeon clarified how far back the tumour had been and how apex lesions carry a higher risk of this happening. Now he's writing a path report summarising his findings. My feeling is that certain things are fizzing in my eye, and I remain upbeat. Plus, I'm wearing a pirate eye patch, so I look kick-ass. Paranoia. I'm dozing on the way back along the Jubilee line. At West Hampstead, I hear a family laughing and chatting, then the father saying, "I spy with my little eye." Is he pointing at me? Are his kids asking why that man is wearing sunglasses at night? I can't tell. They're on my dark side. As I get to my stop, I hear the father's voice again, louder. Blind. Am I getting paranoid? Day 7. I am a lighthouse. An email from my father. Any sign of response in right eye? Damn good thing we have 2. Just read that the jumping spider has 6 eyes, 4 to detect approaching flying meal, and 2 to calculate direction and speed. Love, Pops. Phil, I've got to know, do you think you'd be a better photographer if you had 6 eyes?
It wouldn't hurt. No.
You reckon?
It wouldn't hurt.
Wouldn't it be a distraction, or what do you think?
Geez. I mean, it's hard to say. You just can't process what that would be like, right? You just can't process what that would be like. It's like contemplating the 4th dimension and things like that.
It would be. It'd be like the 6th dimension.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you do that?
Right? How do you do that?
That would be awesome. Yeah. I heard the other day that the most successful. In fact, did I ever tell you this? Did I ever ask you what is the most successful predator in the world?
No.
It's like 95 plus, maybe 99% predation success.
My ex.
I was giving that one to you. Yeah, I can't really top that. I can't top that. And now I'm gonna say well, if your ex was a dragonfly.
A dragonfly. Okay. All
there
right.
you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Because dragonflies actually anticipate
where the
prey is going. The prey is coming along this way, and the dragonfly is here, and it knows exactly where the prey is going to be, and it gets to that spot where it's going to be.
Wow.
It's all flight paths and everything like that. It's miraculous, and you look at the size of their eyes.
Of course, oh yeah.
What would vision be like through compound eyes? It'd be,
I wouldn't be able to go back.
Yeah? What,
No.
to your ex?
No.
I had to give that one back to you. Right. Anyway, losing one part of me makes me value what parts of myself I have left. What a precious thing is my left eye. An ocean of movement, colour and light. Losing the right is a calamity, but the real catastrophe would be losing my remaining sight. For me, there's no comparison. And so, on the whole, grapes are tasting sweeter right now. They have to. There is no choice. In my bleaker moments, it feels like the surgery removed my eyeball and left the tumour in its place. The tumour is now the eye. Phantoms flash across the blackness, imagined light, borrowed visions, illuminations. At least I've got the pirate patches. My brother and an Italian friend both sent photos of themselves wearing an eye patch, independently. Meanwhile, my sister has commissioned 2 comfortable leather patches to be made in Shropshire. An email from the surgeon. Dear Peter, thank you for your kind words when things are so difficult for you. Your understanding is very much appreciated. I have a report ready and have heard from my contact that he will inquire about an appropriate retinal chap near you. After day 10, I do not think that there is any need for restriction of activity, says my surgeon. But obviously guard the good eye with adequate protection in all these contact sports, with shatterproof glasses. Best wishes, the surgeon. Dear surgeon, thank you for supplying the pathology findings. My only contention is that there is no bare perception of light in the eye, as I have so far no evidence of any external perception. It reminds me of the visual test where you stare at a screen and click the button when you see a flicker. My family wonders if my wearing an eye patch would shield the pupil from, to quote, the nourishment of light and stimulus, and could be detrimental to any recovery. What do you think? Although I'm essentially a positive person, I cannot fool myself into believing that the light in my eye is anything other than transferred vision, an illusion manufactured by my mind, trying to process sudden visual loss. I'd love the flashes to be evidence of repair, but I can't tell. It's interesting how I took panoramas for granted. Perhaps over time and with suitable motion of the head, I can recreate the effect. There's still swelling to come down, and perhaps I'll be surprised after a few months. I'm grateful for the promise of restored motility and the fact that there was no malignancy to contend with. If any experimental breakthrough, recuperative procedure does come to light, can you let me know? Best wishes, Peter. P.S. If they haven't thrown it away, can the lab send me the tumour? Day 8. Exalted company. My uncle. Peter, your eye isn't even open. How can you possibly see anything out of it so soon? I'm sitting in my uncle's warm apartment, discussing our medical situations. It reminds me of his phrase for old people sitting in a circle, sharing their stories of kidney malfunction or bladder troubles. My uncle calls it an organ recital. We have a duet on the sofa as I ask about my uncle's horrible Lyme disease, and he listens to my summary of last week. He's mischievous and avuncular and very good company, and I enjoy playing word games with my aunt, a generous soul. Best of all is the steak sandwich my uncle prepares for dinner, which cheers me up more than any therapy or drugs ever could. I ask him about the similarity between Lord Nelson, Sammy Davis Jr., Degas, Tom York from Radiohead, James Joyce, and David Bowie. The answer was that they had... What do you think is the answer, Phil? Any guesses?
Between those guys?
Yep.
I mean, deeply, darkly emotional.
Well, that's definitely one. Yeah. You going to throw your ex into the mix as well?
No.
Darkly emotional.
I'm over that.
All right. The answer is that they had all complete or significant loss of vision in one eye. Of them all, I was proudest to rub shoulders with David Bowie. As a teenager, he'd had a fight with a mate over a girl and got punched in the eye, leaving his vision, at best, hazy. We both share an enlarged black pupil in one eye. This helped David Bowie get a reputation as an alien. I wonder why there aren't any famous women on the list. I can't think of any.
No.
There was the reporter, the CNN reporter. Actually, she had a patch. She had an eye patch. I can't quite remember her name. She.
It's true. Yeah.
I think she was killed in a missile strike.
Oh wow.
While reporting. I'm pretty sure I've got the right person, but
Yeah.
you can probably edit that bit out if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Fair enough. No, I'll always make it look right.
Yeah.
We'll start the episode with that.
You realise there's a kind of genius in that. Yeah.
There is. Yeah.
Making me look right. Yeah. One guy who was really interested in his optics was Isaac Newton. Here's a story about him from my book, Picasso on the Beach, written 7 years before my IOP. Phil, your job during the story is to guess, is the story true or false?
Okay.
Like all the other stories in the book. Newton's eye. John Maynard Keynes once wrote, Newton was not the first of the age of reason. He was the last of the magicians. London, 1701. Sir? Oh, can't you see I'm busy? Mr. Hook, sir? Yes. There's someone here to see you. I look up from my desk. Over the top of the pile of papers appears the earnest face of my maid. She reminds me of the moon through a telescope. It's an important man, sir. He gave his name as Newton. I frown at her. You heard correctly? You're certain of that? Newton, he said. Allow him in. Oh, he's already inside, sir. What? You can't let him in without my consent? She takes a deep breath. Matilda's a strong and devout woman, tidy in her shawl, controlled. But she seems a little perturbed today. He was forthright and unusual in his behaviour, sir. I send the maid away and wait in my study, reflecting. Forthright and unusual. That doesn't sound like Newton at all. I turn to the window and look out at London. There are fires in the night. The Black Death alerts of the 60s are over, but I sense it's still out there, dark and evil, waiting. Isaac Newton. I'm in two minds about him. On the one hand, his gravitational theories have made him a hero, but his work on vision is flawed. A scream from outside makes me jump. I look out. There's a man laughing, and the usual stench of excrement. I turn away, used to the wailing and moaning from these rancid streets. Newton. I've never met the man, but I have read his treatise entitled Optics. All nonsense, and I've told the Royal Society so. So why is he here? It's not like him to come unannounced on a winter's night. A grand mind, or so they say. I pull on my gown and go into the drawing room. There, the maid is frowning by the door. Isaac Newton is standing with his hands on his hips. I recognize him from his lectures, grand, proud, and imposing. Despite the heat from the fire, he's kept on his long coat, and there's a white scarf around his neck. He's holding something behind his back. Hook! I give a little bow. Welcome to my... Hook! You criticize my paper again. I bow lower and keep the maid in the corner of my eye. Her gaze is fixed on the physicist's right hand behind his back. Would you care for something to drink? I ask Newton, but he continues in a loud voice, his eyes dark and wild. Colour perception is caused by pressure on the eye. There's no other explanation. Some beer, perhaps? Pressure on the eye. It's simple. He's shaking, animated in his fury. I'm amazed he's come in at all. He's known for long periods of bitterness and solitary reflection after any criticism. So this is highly unusual. There's a smell of alchemy about him. I can see blue stains on his sleeves, pungent chemicals. Perhaps that is why he's so upset about an old paper. Perhaps he's running out of mercury. He shakes a finger in my face. If you alter the pressure, it will create a chromatic change. You doubt me, despite my evidence. The evidence is a little unusual, yes. You doubt me. Well, perhaps we could meet in the society. No. He turns to one side. The fire lights up his craggy face. He's in his 60s, but still very impressive and handsome. His wig is long and curly and lit up by the fire. When he turns back to us, the maid shrieks. In his hand is a needle. He points it at her, and she takes a step backwards to the door. Then he looks straight at me. You doubt. Observe. Newton tilts his head back and slips the needle into his eye. Oh, please, sir, cries the maid, desist. I take the bodkin between the eyeball and the bone surrounding it. I turn away, revolted, and thus pressing my eye with the end of it so as to produce a curvature there. He holds his eyelid with one hand and probes with the other. I look on, feeling sick. I can see circles, says the scientist. For a moment, I have a powerful urge to slap his palm and force the needle into his brain. I see white, dark, and coloured circles, excited by the movements of my instrument. He pushes the needle further in. Sir, I say. Matilda crouches on the floor, terrified and disgusted. If I continue to rub my eye with the point of the bodkin, such circles are plainer, the colours bright, yes. Sir, please! But he continues the revolting exercise. Nothing will stop him. I realise he is feverishly determined to prove his point and is unaware of our feelings. Sir, please! A little further in. A drop of blood trickles down his nose. Oh, the plague has followed him, but surely this is a plague of madness. Sir, I doubt you not. I believe you. Newton stays completely still for a moment. In all truth, I believe you, I say. You do? He smiles, cool and dispassionate. Oh, yes. Quite clearly there are colours being produced, sir. He removes the needle and holds it out to me. Would you care to try? Oh, sir! Such findings from the champion of gravity and the elucidator of rainbows Must be beyond doubt. He thinks for a moment. I can almost hear his brain ticking. The maid cowers in the firelight. Good. Isaac Newton straightens up and dabs his eyes. Just as he's leaving, he turns to me and raises a finger. One more thing. For the first time, he looks me in the eye. There are no champions of gravity. With that, he walks out, leaving the needle in my hand. Right, Phil, your magic moment. What do you think? True or false?
I'm gonna say false. I think it's false.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that because it's I don't believe you.
I'd actually have to check in the book what the exact question is, because most of it is.
Because it's Robert Hooke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when Newton says he stands on the shoulders of giants,
yeah.
If I've seen farther than others, there's some connection between Hooke was a very small man. So there's some connection. I think I'm thinking of the right thing. I'll cut all this out. I get to edit this, so I'm wrong.
You're the guy with the power.
Clip.
Yeah.
But I think he was making a reference to getting some inspiration from other people, or being humble. Maybe it was false humility, but he was also making a poke on the fact that Robert Hooke is not a giant. Right, he's quite the contrary. So
I guess I should clarify by saying the original question from the book is: did Newton test his theories by placing a needle in his own eye?
I don't know the answer to that. Maybe he did.
I believe he did. When I was researching the story,
I bet he did.
That is something he did actually.
Just the kind of thing that he would do. Yeah.
So the rest is all hogwash.
Mm-hmm.
But
just the kind of thing he would do. Yeah. No, but it's convincing. It's convincing. I just I know that he probably would be too proud to go to Hooke's house. He'd probably just be happier staying away from him and disparaging him in front of all of the other people, right? Saying terrible things about him. So
absolutely,
that's the kind of thing he would do.
He was a good-looking guy, though.
He was a good-looking guy.
Newton. He was good.
Isn't he buried at
Westminster Abbey?
Yes, exactly.
I think it is. Yeah. All right. Along with my grandfather.
Are you serious? He's
Yep.
at Westminster Abbey?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
But that's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah.
Day 9. A kind of home. I got a message from my friend, the programmer in Bristol.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you don't expect me to be sympathetic, do you? I'll miss my friend's brutal sense of humour now I'm leaving England for my second home, an island in the south of Europe. Wherever I go, I'll keep my correspondence with a ton of people on WhatsApp. The dive trainer on an oil rig, schoolmates and a huddle of football fans from university, plus truckloads of positivity from a certain Australian. Through them, I've learned the strength of companionship. But for now, I'm looking forward to a little sunshine. At least I'll get the embers of summer, plus the drama, gossip and complaints common to this part of the Mediterranean. When I come up to the customs desk, the sallow immigration officer points at my eye patch. I assume it's to compare my face with the face in the passport. Oh, you really want to see it? I pull the patch down. When will it recover? He says. Excuse me? When will it get better? How is it? Gone, I say. Ah. He twists his head, genuinely upset. I enter the country, marvelling at his genuinely sweet gesture. Other reactions are also interesting. In the cafe near my work, a Serbian waitress glares at me and says, "You look better with eye patch. You don't worry. You have other eye." A stocky Sicilian points at my eye patch. I know what happened. Jealous lover. My son is 2. I haven't hugged him for over a week. and I'm nervous about how he will respond to my injury. His first reaction is to point sternly at my eye patch. Off! So I take it off and we play together, just as we've always done. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening. Any comments are welcome. I'm always interested to hear what people think. And I'll see you at episode 4.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I like that.
Cheers.
Nice soft approach.
That's what I'm after. The operation. I should be more serious about it, shouldn't I?
You should.
I find it really hard to be, even though this is like really serious and horrible thing that I'm doing. I find it hard to just be like glum and gloomy about it. I can't do it anyway.
Would it help?
Would it help? It wouldn't help. There you go. There you go. Phil, I've just realised I forgot to say something at the beginning, but I'm going to say it now because we're nearing.
Okay.
I completely forgot to say this. We are actually having a special guest on the show.
Oh wow!
And I can mention it now. I think I can. I don't think it's too late to mention it, right? We're still.
Be nice to tell your producer at a certain point.
No, that's not going to happen. No, I think you know who it is anyway. It's a surprise to people who are listening to it the first time. No, and the surprise is we have Isaac Newton coming on the show later on. So,
Right.
But we should really have said it at the beginning, shouldn't we?
We should have. Yeah.
Fuck. How far in are we? We had some really good banter at the beginning as well. Anyway, guys, we've got Isaac Newton coming on later in the show, so what the hell? Okay. As you probably noticed, we're all learning how to do this, so hey, what the hell? No, we're going to crack on.